Did everyone have a good breakfast? It's lunchtime.
Yeah.
It's lunchtime here. And we're just going to take a few more minutes until everyone joins in. And we are also live on Facebook. If you're not joining through Zoom, you can ask your questions on Facebook. We'll be watching it as well.
Speaking of lunch, I have to actually grab my lunch, so I'm going to turn off the camera.
That was scary.
Hi, Jeff.
Hello, everybody.
In your Alin gear, I'm impressed.
I went into the closet and I had about 40 jerseys hanging there. I didn't know which one to pick.
I hope they were all Alin.
They didn't all fit though.
Wrong Zoom for that. Okay. Okay, we're gonna wait another minute and then we'll get started. But in the meantime, if somebody does want to ask a question that's just burning, go for it.
Hi, Chen, how you doing?
Rob, you made it.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, Rob.
Hi.
How you doing? Let me take off the fake background
Why?
so you can see my office.
Oh,
There we go.
Hi,
Have
Rob.
you-
It's Joanne.
Nice, the office. Hi, Joanne.
Hi. I'm keeping my picture off. I'm in the jewelry class today, so I'm going
Okay.
to keep the picture off.
I'm gonna have to switch over to my car in a little bit. But I downloaded the app, so I'm ready to go on that.
Jewelry or jewelry?
Very
Jewish-
funny. Jewelry with an L.
Jewish jewelry.
Jewish jewelry. That's exactly what it is.
There you go.
Remember from Gilda Radner who says, "What's all this I hear about Russian jewelry?"
Yeah.
Remember the SNL skit? Rosanna, no, she wasn't Rosanna Anadana, but
You're showing your age. You want to hear something really depressing about age? My
No.
brother sent me my brother sent me this thing saying that the number of years between 1918 and 1970 is
Don't
the
do
same
that
as
one.
between 1970 and now.
don't do that one.
That was horrible. So,
I'll ask a question, Mayan.
Go for it.
How is this ride different from all other rides? I just felt I should put it in a Jewish context. there.
Monish Dana.
Definitely should.
we dipped twice this time.
Well, first of all, it's going to be different because of all of you that are going to join us. And we have someone riding. Look at Brad Sokol. I wish I could highlight him. He's on his bike in his Alin jersey on the Zoom. That is commitment.
And with Lauren.
Are you listening to Zoom?
Say hello to Zoom, Lauren, Aileen World.
Hi. Oh, hi.
Yes, we're training.
Be careful.
All right. I didn't mean to call you out, Brad, but it's impressive. Okay, we'll get started. Welcome to Wheels of Love 2022, our first ever Zoom info session. I guess we can thank COVID for that one. But we are all very excited to see everyone in Israel this year after 2 years of not being together, riding everyone separately, but it's time. And we do know that the ride is different this year. It is shorter. It starts on Monday and not on Sunday. And we changed the registration fees and the fundraising commitment. And we know people have questions and we are here to answer them. We have Yardain Frankel from the office in Israel, Davida, who will be joining us this year on the ride. I think Tal is on the Zoom to listen in. He is no longer in the position, but we still keep him part of our family. And Michael, the new ride director, who I haven't seen join the Zoom yet. So I'll let you know when he joins and we'll introduce him. But in the meantime, if anybody has any questions, concerns, comments, I see some new riders that have not yet registered, some old riders that have not yet registered, and some riders that have registered and must have questions. So we do have some longtime Alin supporters and riders with us on this Zoom. So it's really a great opportunity to ask any questions you may have.
Mayan, I have a question.
Yes.
Buses on Sunday, when are they? Because some people, for the new people, they don't realize you can go up to the venue Sunday night, so you don't have to get up before God on Monday morning. So what time are the buses leaving and where are they leaving from on Sunday? And Monday would be nice to know also.
Okay, so we don't have exact times naturally because things will change. However, we are sticking to the way it has been in previous years. So previously we would have the Saturday night bus leaving from Tel Aviv and Jerusalem and going to the first hotel. Similarly, this year we will have the buses leave Sunday late afternoon from Tel Aviv or Jerusalem. And what I would suggest is for any riders that are arriving overseas to send the American Friends of Alin Hospital, me or Davida, your flight information so we know when to expect you and that we can sort of help you determine your travel plans. I know there will be people arriving Sunday afternoon. The flights from the US generally land anywhere between 3 and 5 p.m. So the buses will be coordinated or, they'll work in synergy with that arrival time. So people don't have to worry so much, but it will be very helpful for us to have your flight information, your travel itinerary when possible. I see that Mike has joined us, so I'm going to let him introduce himself and we can continue with the questions.
Hi, everybody. Good afternoon, morning in America. I apologize for my late arrival on the call. but I think we had a bit of a problem on the Israeli side connecting, so apologies.
Maayan, I have a question.
Maayan, maybe just, would you like me to, sorry, just before we go to the next question, is that me making that noise? One,
No,
two,
you should be okay. You should
all
be
right.
okay.
So just before we go on with the questions, I'd just like to introduce myself very briefly. So my name is Michael Levenrad, and I replaced Tal. Hi, Aline. I replaced Tal a month ago, so I've now been in the position of head of special projects at Friends of Aline in Israel for a month. And I don't want to go on for too long, so really I'll be happy to just join in on the questions, and if you have any personal questions, I'll be happy to answer those as well. So please go ahead, sorry. Hi, Tal.
I think somebody had a question before.
I have John Lupkin. I have a question. In reviewing the elevation charts of this ride, it looks very substantial, almost Herculean in what it will be required. Is that subject to change? Is that fixed, or what are the plans in that regard?
All right. So let me just give you a bit of an update on the routes. I've been working kind of intensively based on Tal's initial planning of the routes for all the various options, road and off-road. And literally, as we speak, we're refining and re-looking at some of the routes. So I would say that please do not take the current picture on our website as the final picture. The main thing that's going to change is that we've come to the conclusion to give the riders a better experience. We're going to shift the starting point, and that's going to change the whole gravity of all the routes. So I would just say that our information, it's not that it's incorrect, but we're upgrading the current picture. And I hope that towards the end of this next week, we'll be able to really put up a realistic picture of the routes. I totally agree with this remark that it looks very challenging, and we're looking at that as well. Meaning, because the ride this year is up north, it integrates a lot of elevation by definition, very different from last year, the last ride in 2019, where it was in the desert. So also the difficulty of the routes, because it's up north, can be substantially unlike the ride down south, where the routes tend to flow. I'm talking about off-road. On-road, we updating the routes, and you'll be able to see this updated picture, hopefully in the next 10 days.
Thank you.
Hi, this is Mark. I'm very hopeful I can do this for my first time this year. Still have a couple of last calendar things to address. I have two questions. One is just a general question. I don't know how many, maybe this will not be a good use of people's time, depending on how many new people are. It would be just helpful to kind of have a sort of top line overview of the week, just, to give us a sense, for a new rider, sort of the flow and dynamics and how the week goes and how a day typically goes. That would be very helpful. And then the second is, there's several different levels of riding that you're asked to register for. Is that like you're locked once you register for it, that's what you need to do? Or is there possibility to, adjust when you get there, either on a particular day or for the week? Just as I'm trying to see, ultimately, I don't know how much mileage I'll be getting in between now and then. So the level of fitness may be at one level where I would hope it to be, and then there might be a different reality when I get there.
Right. So I'll answer, and Tal, if you want to maybe just top up on what I'll just give a very brief description. since I haven't actually done the ride, Tal might be able to add a few points. I'll just say the following. So we have we're starting every day from 3 different locations except for the first day. So this already gives you an idea that the 3 different routes, the road routes, that the road and the road and the touring are bunched together. The Road Plus and the Challenge are bunched together, and then the off-road people are bunched together. So the flow is that we truly hope to start all the rides from the same location. And basically this morning we kind of finalized that it's going to be up north. And then the group split up into 3 different hotels. And generally speaking, each group will do 2 nights in one hotel. And then the last night will be a different hotel based on the combinations of the routes and the logistics. We obviously move everything according to the needs. So we'll move your belongings, we'll move the bikes according to necessity. We provide a full package of all the logistic requirements. The last day, we end the rides on all routes at Achziv, which is northwest part of Israel on the coast. And we're really putting into place, hopefully, this great event where all the riders can meet, can have a good barbecue, and finish off the 4-day ride together. So Tal, if you want to add something on that, I'll be very happy.
Yeah, so fine.
Hi, this is Rob. This is Rob Feldman. You guys there? Can you hear me?
Hi, Robert.
Hi. Listen, I'm. This will be my 21st ride, so I'm pretty experienced, and I'm a pretty avid rider. I'm closing in about 4,000 miles for the season right now. And if anyone's got any questions about you're not sure what route you think would be appropriate for you, feel free at Mayan. You can give them my phone number to give me a call, and I can discuss it. We can talk about what kind of rider you are, and I can give you some feedback on what route I think would be best for you. I'll be glad to do that on an individual basis.
Hi, Rob.
Thank
how are
you,
you?
Rob.
Hi.
How's Chicago?
It's nice and hot.
Great. So, Mark, in response to your question, first of all, hi, Mark. I know you are supposed to be a brand new rider, so I'll give you a general overview of the ride. All the riders will gather up on Monday morning, which is something new, because usually we would start on a Sunday. But this year, we're starting on a Monday. So all riders from all routes will gather up at the same starting point. As Michael just said, we're picking up the exact location and we'll update that. And then from that starting point, each route will go on their own separate route with a full caravan of escort with ambulances and police and mechanics and all of that. During the day of riding, we will have 3 stops during the day itself. So you can carry with you a water bottle or 2. And then if you have any issues with mechanics, the mechanics will take care of your bike and whatever you need. During the stops along the way, we have 3 feeding zones or pit stops, which include food and water and juice and fruit and fresh fruit and dry fruit and all of that. So no worries about any kind of being hungry along the day. One of the reputations of the ride is gaining weight during the ride itself. So no worries about that. After that, at the hotel, we start usually every day at 8 a.m. in the morning. Again, it varies from day to day. There are days that you start at 7:30 and days that you start at 8:30, but usually we start at around the 8-ish. Ride for a brutto of 8 hours, meaning we get back to the hotel at around 4 p.m. A full day of riding is about 6 hours of real riding, actual riding, and 2 hours of different 3 to about 3 stops. If needed, there are more. And then once we get to the hotel, we have some relaxed time between 4 and 6-ish. Some relaxed time, some scotch, some other stuff, whatever you want to. And around between 6 and 7, depending on that specific day, there's dinner at the hotel. And as Michael said, we have we're giving full, how do you say that? Full service of whatever needed from once you get to the ride and we're going back to the airport. So Michael said that at the last day, at the closing ceremony, we'll have a full ceremony with barbecue and other surprises. And from there on, there are buses that take you to different locations from Israel to get home, depending where you want to go and when you want to go. So I think that's a general overview. Yeah. So Tal, just to add, Mark, on that question regarding kind of moving over, what I would suggest is when we publish the routes, the updated routes, we'll publish it with elevation and distances and map links, so you can look on it's a GPX file to actually look at the route and try and decide what is most suitable for you and speak to experienced riders. Generally speaking, we try not to move around between the groups because what happens is that this could become a serious logistical problem. And in this year's ride, we have one location that's an hour and a half away from the other two groups, the hotels. So we definitely are going to try and avoid people moving from that location. If we know in advance that you want to do, for example, 2 days on the road plus and then 1 day on the road, or let's say road and then off-road, we can accommodate that. I'm saying that with a slight hesitation, depends what you choose to do. So, as soon as we know, I think the most important message is we're trying to provide a personal, tailor-made solution as much as possible. So if we understand exactly what you're looking for, we'll try and adjust in the best possible way to make that available. Obviously, there are 412 million constraints that we have to take into account, but we'll try and make it a personal, very, very successful experience for you.
Yeah, if I can say something about that, switching groups, it's one thing if you bite off more than you can chew and you need to drop down, go to a different group so you can survive. But if you just want to take it easy for a day, what I've done in the past is a lot of times on the last day, I want to ride with some of my buddies who are in the regular road group. So on the last day, we all start together from the same hotel. So a lot of times on the last day, I might, instead of going with my Road Plus buddies, I might go out with the regular road group on the last day because we're all together anyway. So that's something that it's easy to do.
Okay.
All right. And sorry, Mark, please go ahead. And then Victor, we'll get to you. 1 second, Victor. Just 1 second, Victor. Mark's got one more question.
Yeah. Sorry. Thanks. That's very helpful. The last question. If you have a partner that's going to be maybe wanting to join and stay in the hotels, but not going to ride or be part of the hike, is there any accommodation for that, or that's totally separate?
Yeah, sure. So what we provide is the two options. One is we provide a hiking route. It's not a strenuous route that enables people that want to walk and not ride do this. And then we also have a route called touring. So basically what we do with the touring group is the people that don't want to ride too much, take it easy, like a 20, 25 kilometer relatively easy ride, and then stop and do have some good time. Either we set up a program with a tour guide to take you to some nice places, maybe some wineries, some sightseeing, and you can join just that if you want to, if you're not riding or hiking. So those are the options that we could provide as alternatives.
Mark, did you mean your spouse does not want to hike or ride or bike?
Yeah, yes, that's right. So I think she probably would plan to do some other things. She's been to Israel a few times, but would like to stay with me in the hotel and maybe be part of the dinners, but that might be too complicated. So that's why I was trying to understand.
I'll reach out to you offline and we can talk about it, okay? And we have, Victor, did you have a question? Because we have 4 hands up besides Victor. You're muted, Victor.
So which Victor are you talking about? Can you hear me, Mayan?
Victor Goldstein, but hi, Victor from Berlin.
Who's the other Victor? Victor
Goldsmith has a question. And,
Oh,
and if you have one too, we'll call on you next.
All
Okay.
right, thank you, man.
So this is for me or for Beletsky?
We'll do Goldsmith and then Beletsky.
Okay, thank you, thank you. Hello to everybody. I want to see you all quite soon in Israel, and it's been a couple of years, so I'm really looking forward for it. I'm bringing two new couples to Alin this year, and these two new couples, they want to be together, and I think the women are going to be doing the touring, and the guys are going to be doing the on-road or the on-road plus. So even though that what you mentioned before, if there's any way to get them already to spend the nights together, or if not the 4 nights, but at least 1 or 2, Michael, like that, we can get them because they want to have the kind of experience, the experience of the two couples together. That's the first question. So I think if I understand correctly, it shouldn't be a problem. I think we need the details in order to make the arrangement for this. I mean, very happy to have 2 new couples, absolutely fantastic. And if it's possible offline, I'll be happy to maybe with Mayan or directly with us to just let us know exactly the details, and let's put this together so it will work. So, okay, they've been telling me that they're going to register for the last 2 months, and they haven't registered yet. So let's see if now that I can answer the question, they can already register. We'll be really, yeah, Victor, I just want to say that for us new riders is a big, big thing. And really, we make a huge effort to get new people on the ride. So really let us know and we'll make this happen. The second question is that somebody asked me if they can bring an e-bike. Not the kind of crazy e-bikes that they use in Israel, but a normal on-road e-bike. And they can participate in the on-road plus or in the challenge. Is that possible? Wow, Tal, can you help me out? I know that with Tal, when we did the handover, we discussed e-bikes, but I'm not sure. So Tal, please help me out. Help me out, Tal.
Victor, מה שלומך?
Sorry, I can't hear you, Tal.
Victor, מה נשמע?
בסדר, טל, יוצא מהכלל. אבל אני כבר בן 70, אז כבר מגיע לי e-bike.
מגיע לך e-bike. So, in general, I'll move back to English, Victor, so everyone can understand us. The idea is that this year we agreed that people who really, really want to bring e-bikes can bring e-bikes to the ride. There is an issue with finding rental e-bikes in Israel. It's not easy finding rental e-bikes in Israel. And the other issue is that we need to make sure that all the charging of the e-bikes, of the batteries of the e-bikes, takes place in the hotels. So people need to take full responsibility of their bikes. But the idea is that, Victor, you can bring your e-bike. That's the idea.
Okay, thank you, Tal. Well, now, does anybody know if there's any kind of regulation on a flight to bring an e-bike? Do airlines make a hassle to bring e-bikes? It's not the same as bringing a normal bike. Does anybody know about it?
Victor, again, to the best of my knowledge, there is no issue, but I'm not positive. I'm not sure that my answer is fully correct. I'm not sure.
The lithium battery, the lithium battery will have an issue. You need to check with your flight company what are the restrictions for the lithium battery to be shipped.
Okay.
I've heard some people.
It is a flammable product, so there are restrictions to that. Just for the battery.
Yeah, I've heard some people. They don't take the lithium battery in their bike, and they pick up a lithium battery here when they come to Israel, and that works in case there are restrictions on the lithium battery in the plane.
Well, the battery is included in the bike. You can't take it off. It's one piece.
Victor, this is Steve Nachman. I know when I checked in 2 years ago, they questioned me as to whether there was a battery in the bike. I did not have one, so I answered no. I don't know what they would have said to me if the answer was yes. So I think you do need to check on that with the airlines.
Okay, it's against FAA regulations to have a lithium-ion battery in the hold where baggage is. So if it's integrated into the bike, they will not be able to bring it on the plane.
Can you repeat that? They won't, or they? Yeah, it's a yes or a no.
No.
All right.
That's not true.
I didn't get it.
The
guys,
specifics are.
Again, you need to check it. You need to check it with your company.
You can protect the battery so that the leads can't short. The airlines do publish the size of batteries that you can take and whether they can go in the hold or they have to come on with you on the carry-on. But it's all specifically specified, and I think some batteries can go in the hold if you're protecting them properly.
Right. So let me, Victor, I think that you've raised a very important question that might become more relevant as we move along with other riders and definitely for the years to come. So what I suggest is two things. On your side, please contact your airline specifically and try and understand what they say. We will look into this issue as well and try and work out what information is available, what restrictions exist. I know from other issues that it might differ between different airlines. Sometimes it's a different policy, and then there's the general rule. So definitely, please look into it from your side. We'll make some inquiries, and we'll share the information so it's available for everyone. Thank you, Michael. Okay, I will.
Okay, Victor Beletsky. Victor, did you have a question?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yep.
Oh, great. Okay, quick question on logistics. I'm sure it'll be published. As in past years, we've dropped off our bikes for assembly at the hospital prior to the ride. Is that going to be the same case? And what's the earliest time we could drop off our bikes for assembly?
Yeah. Okay, so what we're planning is because the ride, I mean, everyone's aware of the fact that the ride this year is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So what we are planning to do, we have 3 check-in days. One will be on Thursday afternoon, Israel time, from 4 o'clock till the early evening. The second will be Friday morning, 8:30 in the morning till 1:30 in the afternoon, Israel time, obviously. And then we have a third option on Sunday afternoon up north at the hotel that we're all starting from on Monday morning. So on Sunday at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, we'll do a check-in point over there as well. On top of that, we are also enabling a pickup, not a check-in, but just a pickup for riders that arrive on Sunday afternoon. Hopefully not too many, but we will enable a pickup of a number of bikes at the airport if someone flies in on Sunday afternoon. Take them up north and do the check-in process with the rider. That's the only constraint. We will not pick up a bike without the rider. So the bike and the rider can come from the airport to the hotel, and then we'll do the check-in process at the hotel.
Great, thank you.
Victor, let me just use that opportunity just to talk about the checkout process. So obviously what we will provide on Thursday at the end of the week is for those that need to go to the airport, we'll provide transportation for the bikes and for the riders to the airport. I'm just pointing out that it's not an late afternoon flight, because I know that a lot of the flights for America leave at 11 o'clock Israel time, nighttime, at 1 o'clock in the morning. So that's no problem. And we will arrange transportation to enable people to catch those flights.
Okay,
Great, thank you. A follow up on that last point. Will there be any option for transportation, for example, back to Jerusalem with the bike after the ride?
Yes. So what the dispersion of the riders is basically back to Jerusalem and to a few other locations in Israel. We'll publish these locations when we have the detailed logistical plan. But yes, there will be transportation on Thursday after the finish event to back to Jerusalem for riders and bikes.
Beautiful.
And Tel Aviv, and we'll have a Tel Aviv drop-off point as well.
Great.
Okay,
Looking forward.
There's a question in the chat box from Saul about the bike rental process. We have Amir and Asaf Rockman. We have their information on the website. You are responsible to coordinate with them. They usually pick a day during check-in to come to Alin with the bike. So I would recommend you opt for that. Probably I'm going to say it's going to be Thursday night. Yardain, correct me if I'm wrong. Likely Thursday afternoon, Rockman will come.
It really is depending on what the need is and how many people are asking for bikes. In the past, I think they actually came Friday morning to Alin, and it's Gal Rockman, his Asaf's brother, that owns the company now. It's I think Jerusalem Bike.
Yeah. I think that for planning reasons, it's better to plan Friday morning. That way, we can have more riders that can use the service. And at the moment, we do not have a rental option up north. We're looking into it, but it doesn't look very optimistic. So anyone that needs to rent a bike need to get in touch with Gal and arrange to bring the bike to Alin on Friday and do the check-in process.
And there's another question in the chat box from Michelle. If we are taking the bus on Sunday to the hotel, can we bring our bikes on the bus and have them put together once at the hotel? So
the answer is yes and no. Yes, you can get on the bus. We will put the bikes on a separate vehicle. Most probably, it will 99% it will be a designated truck for the bikes. And yes, we will bring the bikes to the hotel and put them together. I said that most probably because if we have a very small number of riders that need this service, then we will put the bikes onto the bus. But generally speaking, for planning reasons, no problem at the airport. The bus will probably, and the truck will be leaving the airport between 6 to 7 in the evening on Sunday. So we've taken into account the majority of flights arriving late afternoon. And also, on the other hand, we've got an hour and a half drive to the hotel, and we need the mechanics to be able to have enough time to put the bikes together. So roughly 6, 7 in the evening. And if anyone has different flight hours, let us please know, and we'll see how we can accommodate that.
A quick follow-up. So, right, because we're going to arrive on Friday and then take the bus. So we won't need to drop off our bikes separately other than whatever the ride is up to the hotel on Sunday.
So, Michelle, but the question, so
I mean, I know that my bike will be separate from me, but it will be able to go in its box to the hotel. I don't have to drop it off in advance.
On Friday?
No, on Sunday. Like we're arriving Friday, I won't need to have to go.
Sure. And no problem. We'll pick up the boxes without the riders at the airport or wherever. But the actual unpacking of the box has to be with the rider present.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll bring you to the hotel separately, your bike separately. We'll hook you up, hopefully with the right bike, and then put it together.
Thanks.
Okay, we have some people with their hands up for a while. So Stephen.
Hi, how are you?
Lowinger or Lowinger? You'll correct.
Lowinger. Thank you so much. I'm hopefully going to be a first-time rider with you guys. A few very quick questions. My main question is scheduling is just a mess for me, and I'm not 100% sure that I can do it, and I'm not going to know probably till October-ish. The question is, how late can you register?
Steve, I would say that I mean, obviously, if it's big numbers, no. But if it's small numbers, you can register on Sunday morning. I'm obviously not. Obviously not, right? But
Yeah.
listen, just be in touch with us as soon as you know your plans. Talk to us, and we want you to join. So we'll make every and if you and I just mentioned, I don't know if it was mentioned just before I joined the conversation, but even if you see that you can't make the full 4-day ride, that's not a problem. Let us know, and we can arrange a partial participation.
That's a perfect next question. I have my son who's in the army, and Thursday morning they're having a tekes in Jerusalem that I have to be at. Is Thursday a full day of riding? And where is there an option for me to join somewhere in the middle if I have to go to Jerusalem and come back?
So look, to come back, is this a ceremony in the afternoon on Thursday?
No, it's way early in the morning. They're having a
all right, one of these early things early in the morning.
They're marching the whole night, and they're getting
all right.
in the morning.
Okay, so what I would recommend, and obviously we can also go into detail offline, is that on Wednesday evening at the end of the ride, I think the best would be for you to make your way up to Jerusalem on Wednesday evening.
Yeah.
And then on Thursday, I would recommend that we see if you it might be difficult. It all depends on the hours that you're actually going to come back and join us. But
it's a full day. It's a full day of riding.
A full day ride. It's a full day ride. We will have the ceremony roughly at about between 3 and 4 o'clock on Thursday afternoon. Okay. So it's a full day ride.
Okay. Perfect. I appreciate it. And I'm understanding from my other question was about transportation of the bike. I'm understanding from everything I've heard till now that we are responsible to get our bike on the plane and to Israel.
Yes.
There's no company that transports the bike or anything like that.
No. We will take responsibility from check-in to check-out.
Got it. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate it.
Ellie or Eli? You'll correct me.
Hey, it's actually neither. It's actually Ailey, but there's no way that you should know that.
Fair enough.
Also, like Stephen, a potential first-time rider. Although I think we both did the ride in Jersey last year, 2 years ago. So a few questions too. So someone mentioned on-road, off-road. I see road and road plus and challenge. Those all seem like they're on-road. What's the off-road option?
All right. So
what is that called?
No, great question. I'll just give a rundown. Let's just put aside the hiking and the touring. We have 5 routes on all 4 days. 3 are on-road, 2 are off-road. The on-road, we have 3 levels of riding. So it's road, which is the less difficult for the pessimistics, and the optimistics are the easiest. And then we have road plus, which is slightly more elevation and a longer distance. And then we have the challenge, which is a great challenge. And it's for the tough and the brave, the challenge, real tough and brave. Then we have 2 off-road routes, same concept. One is for the more average off-road, and we combine, and then we have the enduro, which is a more challenging off-road. On both of them, we try and integrate trails and single routes. You know, is a single word that's used in English?
It's a word, but I'm not sure what you mean.
It's a single track for an off-road bike. What's the word in English, Tal?
It's like a single file.
A single file line.
Single.
That's what it's called.
Single track. It's called single track in America.
Single track, right? So we try to integrate. If you know, like on the off-road trail, it appears on the site as trail, about 20% plus minus. Don't account me to that. On the single trail and on the channel on the enduro, we try to do like quite a lot of singles as well. And up north.
So just to clarify, so on road is road plus challenge. Off road is easier as trail, more challenging is enduro.
Exactly.
And then you've got touring, which is, I guess, the 4th option on the on road, and hiking is off bike. Okay.
Exactly. The touring is basically, they start off together or they join in the middle, or they join for the last part of the road route.
Gotcha. Cool. Quick follow-up there. For any of the off-road, what would be the tire requirement there? Like minimum width?
Just an off-road bike. Okay. If you use suspension, if you use front or rear suspension, that's great. Tal, have you got any specifics on that?
Yeah, so I suggest you go between the 2.0 up to the 2.3, not more than that. 2.0 up to the 2.3. I know usually in North America you ride on wider ones like 2.4 or 2.6, but I think 2.3, 2.2, again 2.0 to 2.3 is enough.
I feel like we're having a metric US issue here.
Yeah.
I read in like 25s, so that's, I don't know what that means in metric land, but I can look at that later. But I appreciate the info.
Okay.
That's helpful.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I was talking metric. Sorry, my apology.
That's okay. That's okay. Most of the world is metric.
But it's just one more point on that question. We in the first week of November in Israel. Normally, the first week in November is like midsummer. But we can also be in the middle of winter. It's impossible to predict what kind of weather we're going to encounter. The days are quite short. That's the only thing I can say for quite sure. So what I think, obviously, if it's very muddy due to rain, then we're going to have to make changes on the off-road routes in any case. So the tires do not have to be adjusted to major mud conditions. We're talking about, generally speaking, very dry or slightly not dry routes. So that's the terrain expected here in Israel.
Thank you. That's very helpful. Just a quick question also, just for context, being a potential first timer, it's a new thing for me to do a ride with a big group and have everyone stay in different places. I'm curious how that works, and it sounds like an interesting approach. But like, if you had to give a sense of how the numbers come out in terms of, is it like equal distribution among the 5 options? Are most people on, like, I'm imagining I'm going to do Road Plus, right? Is that kind of like most people do Road Plus? Is it kind of like evenly distributed? How many people are in? Oh, hey, Rob. There's a lot of people doing the challenge route, just to give a sense of what that looks like. Just because I'm doing the ride to do the ride, and also to hang out with a bunch of good people. And so it's a little bit of new information that I'll be really hanging out with the people in my group really for the ride, right?
Yeah. So as was mentioned earlier, I think it might, if you want to really understand, you should, and maybe Mayan can share some telephone numbers to speak to some people and get a bit more of the nitty-gritty details. But what I will say is that we bundle Road Plus and Challenge. Bye, Tal. You have to go. Tal, thanks a lot. I'll just carry on, but thanks, Tal. We'll see you on the next call or in Israel. So we bundle as far as the hotel and the evenings, the Road Plus and the Challenge will be in the same hotels. And normally, I'm just saying, the biggest group will probably be the Road and the Road Plus. But if you combine the Road Plus and the Challenge, you can have a nice group of people. But I really suggest that you speak to some of the riders that have done Road Plus through Mayan. We'll put you in touch with the right people to get a better feel.
Well, like I said, I'll be glad to speak to anyone offline to let you know what it's like to be part.
Perfect.
And what the numbers.
I can connect you to some Road Plus and Challenge riders. We have plenty of volunteers, as you can see. So I'll reach out offline and we can connect you to some riders.
The only thing, this is Joanne again, the only thing I'd say is if you want numbers, the largest group is going to be the on-road. I think at times it's been about 100. A challenge is usually 30 to 50, but now that they've broken it down to Challenge and Road Plus, maybe there's 60 between the two groups. But if they're all staying together, then you'll have 60 people in those groups. But I'm talking about before COVID, so these numbers might not be indicative of this year.
Okay, thank you everyone for
We have at the moment, we have 150 people registered for the ride, plus minus 2 or 3. And we really, truly hope to get to close to 250. It all depends on, the next few weeks. So Joanne's remark is absolutely correct, but I'm just reminding everyone in that 2019, there were 330 riders overall. So that kind of might reduce the numbers slightly this year. We definitely will not be that number this year.
Okay, Mark, did you have another question?
Yes, apologies for being, again, sort of new here. So, if we're arriving in Tel Aviv, say Thursday or Friday, we get the hotel ourselves in Tel Aviv, and then just explain, how does it work? Let's say we came in on Thursday, you're going to meet us at the airport when we arrive on Thursday and take the bike then, and then sort of keep it until we get to up north on Sunday. Just wanted to understand the logistics there.
So, Mark, the logistics is, and it's a bit blunt what I'm going to say, so just to make it clear so there's not a misunderstanding, but generally speaking, you're all on your own. Well, good luck with Israeli security at the airport. I'm joking, don't be too worried about that. I've got a bit of a sense of humor. So you get to Israel, you take your stuff, you go to your hotel, and then in advance, you've let us know where you want to do the check-in. So at the moment, I said there are 2 check-in days in Jerusalem. We're also considering, and I'm saying this because I think that we need to enable Tel Aviv check-in point in order to make it easier for people like yourself who's taken a hotel in Tel Aviv, not to need to ride up to Jerusalem or wait till Sunday and then join with your bike at the airport or something. So currently you take your bike, you take your luggage to your hotel, and then you do the check-in in Jerusalem or up north. Those are the options. We are looking into opening up a check-in point for a few hours on Friday morning in Tel Aviv. And then what I would recommend to you is to bring your bike on Friday morning from your hotel, check it in, and then we'll meet you on Sunday. You'll hook up with one of the buses and we'll take you up north.
Okay, obviously that would be very helpful to have a check-in in Tel Aviv in addition to Jerusalem for those that weren't planning to do that. Because it'd be great to be able to be in both places, but sometimes that's hard. But so what I'm hearing is basically until check-in, the bike stays with you. So that means you've got to, when you think about getting a taxi, you got to arrange for a ride to the hotel that they can carry a boxed or packaged bike, and then the same from the hotel to the check-in point, unless it's a short distance that can be.
I'm afraid so.
Yeah, okay, that's good to know.
Yeah, we looked at this, but because so many people are coming from different locations, it was almost impossible to consider, like a pickup for everyone. So we thought that it would probably be justified to open up a check-in point. But yes, everyone would need to just do that, the 2 legs to the hotel and then from the hotel to the check-in point individually on their own account.
And then on the end of the ride, do they buses take you back to Jerusalem with a bike, or Tel Aviv, or both? Or
so we're going to have on the way out on the checkout process on Thursday afternoon after the event. We'll have a set of buses that will be going to different locations, and we'll have a number of drop-off points for the bike. So in your case, if you need to return to Tel Aviv, then obviously we'll have a drop-off point at a convenient location in Tel Aviv. The truck with the bikes and the bus with the people will hook up, and then you'll take your bike and you'll need to once again arrange a taxi to take your either to the to your hotel. If you're going to the airport, we will plan a drop-off point on Thursday afternoon, as I mentioned, at the airport in any case.
I would just like, Mark, I just want to add that we really encourage first-time riders as well as veteran riders to stop by at Alin for check-in. So either Thursday or Friday would be a great opportunity for you to also see the work being done at Alin Hospital. We should not forget that we're all riding for a great cause together. And I think it's a good opportunity for you to also meet the people who make the ride happen, the mechanics, the logistics, the staff, and so on. So if it is an option, most American riders land and then they take a cab straight to Alin from Ben Gurion.
Okay, so that's a great clarification.
That's a Thursday afternoon. You drop
Yep.
off. Check-in is open until 9 p.m. So you can drop your bike off and get yourself checked in, see the hospital, meet some of the staff, and then you're on your own until either the Sunday afternoon or the Monday morning, where you choose where you want to take the bus from. So
great, that's very helpful. And okay, we can plan accordingly. So thanks.
And
Thanks for that.
Mayan, and just to follow up on Mayan's point, and I'm talking to the whole group, obviously. If anybody is interested to visit Alin Hospital and it does not work out with the check-in process, so then we'll be very happy to work out something following the ride if you're still in Israel. So if you're in Israel the following week after the ride, or if you arrive in Israel before and you happen to have an opportunity to pop into the hospital, we can arrange an introduction to the hospital, a short tour, so you become familiar with the cause, which is great.
okay, I'm gonna David Marone, who is an American Friends of Alin Hospital board member and a Wheels of Love volunteer, has a question, but I am calling you out in case anybody wants to ask volunteer-related questions. David is a great person for answers.
Thanks, Mayan. Hello, everyone. A number of you would know me from having volunteered on rides both in Israel and in New Jersey and on the Eastern Shore. And volunteers is hardworking, we're tough, and riders are tougher, but have a tougher job, but ours is pretty tough as well. And it's really exciting to see so many new faces. And of course, it's great to see folks we've seen in the past. So indeed, I wanted to mention about volunteers. I wanted to ask if you're going to be looking for volunteers this year. And also for someone, for example, for Mark Mallon, who asked about his spouse, and for others for bringing a significant other, to consider being a volunteer, because you get really involved and the work doesn't have to be that hard. It can be a little bit easier. I was always given the tough assignments, but that's okay. And so just to check with you and welcome Michael. We haven't had a chance to meet, but if you're looking for volunteers, and maybe if people are interested, this might not be the right time to do it. They can check offline and see what's involved. So thanks, and I'm certainly happy to answer anyone's offline any questions you might have about the volunteer experience. Thank you.
Thanks, David. Great to know.
Jonathan and then Jan, who had a question about the bike rental. So Jonathan, before I turn to you, I have to introduce you also. Jonathan Friedman is from Canada, and we actually are working with a local rider from Canada. Jonathan, I'll let you talk about it a little bit. I know some of people have dropped off, but we are live on Facebook, so people can get their information.
So I'm volunteering as the executive director, trying to get a stronger Canadian base. So if there are Canadian riders, my number is 613-282-0882. I've been on the ride about 10 times. So you can certainly turn to me with any questions. Ellie, I sent you my number. You can talk to me about routes. Your question on tires, 25 is perfect for on-road. You will see most, I would say 100% that I've seen in the past of the off-road riders are on dedicated, what we would call mountain bikes or off-road bikes, not gravel bikes. So I haven't seen anybody try and do the off-road yet on a gravel bike, but gravel bikes are coming in. Maybe we'll see one or two this year. One more general comment to those of us in North America. Tubeless tires are something that are not very well known in Israel. I would recommend you bring an extra tire and whatever your favorite filler goop is, because the chances of the mechanics having exactly your tire and Exactly Your Goop are less to nothing. And Victor, I'm bringing a bungee rope because I plan to be connected to your e-bike when we go up the hills. So we'll be able to practice that in tandem. My question is, I didn't see anything on the costs of doing an extra night at the hotel Sunday night.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so the extra night, wait, so let me recap. I just want to start with the tires. Jonathan, with your permission, I just want to say that on off-road, I don't know exactly about on-road, but on off-road in Israel, you have to have what we call here jifa. What's the word in English?
We call it goop. We call it goop.
Yeah, it's a must in Israel because of the dry conditions. And it really, I ride off-road and I ride a tubeless, and with the jifa, it's great. Without jifa, you can't ride at all. You get these little punctures that keep on repeating. So please make sure that you got this jifa. And we can also provide jifa. The bike contractor has got Joe's or whatever they work with, and they'll provide this.
I was talking to the on-road because it's a relatively new thing on road. And I know when I was talking to Tal, I don't think we've yet come across a rider who had a flat tire with tubeless.
Oh yeah, sure.
Because
okay.
By 2019, I don't think there was anybody on the ride with tubeless. But there probably will be riders this year on tubeless on the on-road.
Yeah. All right, great. Yeah, Dan, do you want to add anything? You're a combined. You're a hybrid rider, road and off-road. So do you want to say anything about the tubes?
Yeah, he's right about the tubeless. There are a few people in Israel for the on-road tubeless. The ones I've talked to have had difficulties getting replacement. Off-road, definitely have Homer in your tires, and the mechanics, as Mike said, do have it. It may not be your brand, but they use a lot of last year, we used Joe's No Flats, which is very, very good. They've been a sponsor of the ride, and normally they donate a lot of the Homer to us, so that's very good. On road, the mechanics have tubes, and the mechanics will help you change it. However, sometimes if the mechanics are busy with other punctures up the road, if you're good at changing tires, it's not a bad idea to have a tube with you. Again, we take care of it, but it'll prevent you having to sit by the side of the road and wait for the mechanic if you're good at changing them. I just wanted to add one other thing because there was some discussion about Road, Road Plus, and Challenge. Typically, I think Mike also said this, Road Plus and Challenge combined equals Road. So this year, Road Plus and Challenge are kind of sisters of each other. Road Plus going a little bit slower and a little less distance, but still on the same routes and staying in the same hotels. I'll be on Road Plus. If anybody has any questions, well, a lot of people here have volunteered to answer them, but I'm a staff writer on Road Plus, so feel free anytime. Love to have you.
All right. Thank you, Yarden. And Jonathan, regarding your second question, so generally what we do for people that want to come up to the hotel on Sunday evening, we will put you in contact directly with the Sasha, who you're all familiar with, and he will arrange the hotel evening directly with him. It's at Nir Etzion. This is the hotel that we'll be staying at. But the arrangement for the Sunday evening is done directly. We provide the hotel solutions Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 3 nights. And if anyone has requests or for the weekend or for after the ride, then please do it directly with Sasha, and we can provide his contact details.
Okay, Jan, you
sorry, Mayan, sorry. Yes. And Jonathan, I've got a non-written agreement with Sasha that he will make every effort to provide a very reasonable fee for the extra night due to the fact that it's we're doing such a big chunk of business with him. But please need to speak directly with him.
Okay.
Sorry,
Jan,
Maya.
go ahead.
So I'm sorry, I joined late. You might have mentioned this already, but just as a subset of all the where do we put our bikes, if you decide to rent in Israel, how do you connect to have the rental place leave the bike? Where should they send it?
So Jan, we will provide you the details of the rental company. You arrange with him what kind of bike you need and the arrangement for how many days, etc. And what he normally does is he normally will come to Aline in Jerusalem on the Friday. This is what we're hoping to do, to meet the rider and to hand over the bike and to do the check-in process.
Great.
Yeah, just let me add, I just now updated a part of the website on renting the bikes because it wasn't quite clear. The website for Bike Jerusalem, which is the main vendor we use, is there. You get in touch with them and they will bring the bikes to Aline on Friday morning.
One question can I ask?
What?
Regarding the rentals, do I need, if I check Thursday night and they bring the bike Friday morning, the rental, is that okay? Or I need to be present when the rental bring the bike to Eileen?
Yeah, so Dino, Dino Zadai, hi, nice to meet you, nice to meet you. Dino, we kind of really want the rider and the bike to be checked in when present for many reasons. First of all, when you open the box, we want to make absolutely sure that there are no surprises. But I think that it's also about making sure that the actual bike is a suitable bike for you and that we're not getting something that you didn't expect. So I would say try and plan, please, to be present. If you see that it's totally not possible for whatever reason, what we can consider is that the bike rental will hand over the bike to us, but the check-in will be on Sunday at the hotel up north. The problem with this is if there's a problem with the bike, then it's going to be very difficult the rental guy is not going to be up north. He's not going to come up to the hotel. So I would strongly suggest to try and put
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Okay, Joanne, you have your hand up?
Yes, I do. I just wanted to say, for those who are still on the call, and seems to be 25 people, I'm the president of the American Friends of Eileen Hospital. I've been on the ride. I know half the people who've been speaking here for years. I've been on the ride as a volunteer for 13 years. This will be my 14th year, I think, or maybe I've been on for 12 years. This is my 14th year. For those who are new, this is a life-changing experience. Trust me, it really is. The hospital is amazing. The ride is amazing. The people on the ride are amazing. It's just absolutely a life-changing experience. Be prepared for that. Come to have fun. It's a terrific experience. And then the last thing, I guess, Maayan, Jonathan didn't get what you wanted him to talk about. You want to give the surprise that we have for the ride?
Go ahead.
Oh, no, I thought, okay, I will then. We seem to have contracted with Leah Goldstein, who is or has been the winner of she was the first female winner of the 2021 Ride Across America ride last year in June of 2021. She rode across America in 11 hours. That would have been great. 11 days, 3 hours and 3 minutes. And she's coming from Canada. She'll be with us on the ride. She'll be available for questions. And I think it's very exciting to meet a woman who has dedicated herself to cycling. She was a kickboxing champion of Israel at the age of, of the world at the age of 17. She was in the IDF. She's a remarkable woman. She has a book published called No Limits. I think she will be fascinating to talk to on the ride. We're hoping for Jonathan and for the rest of us that she brings more Canadian riders with us. I think this will be a terrific experience and we're very excited to welcome her to the ride.
What that means is she can get your luggage on her bike across America faster than any airlines in North America.
And Jonathan, it sounds like if Victor's battery doesn't work, you've got an alternative to hook your bike up to as well.
Yeah.
So, Marianne, I just want to maybe that because we, I just want to, especially for the newcomers, but also for the experience, maybe for the experienced riders as well. You just need to be patient, please. I'm asking you to be a little bit patient with the routes. It's the most critical element, as far as I'm concerned, to try and get the right balance between the overall riders, the distances and the elevation, and to have a good experience where we're riding and keep down the garbage time as much as possible and minimum hops with the buses, which are always required. It's impossible to avoid. So just be patient so we can try and optimize on this. And as soon as we have reliable information, we will push it into the site so you can all see this. And more important, once it's on the site, please feel free to contact us on any question regarding the route, something that's not clear. Just feel very comfortable to communicate. We don't have to all wait for this conversation for the next one. So, and I'm really looking forward to this as much as all the newcomers. I'm a newcomer as well.
Yep. So does anyone have any last final question? And I will reiterate, there are no stupid questions. So please call the office, email us. We'll answer everything. We've seen it all. We're experienced. So feel free. Mark, you had a question?
As a long time ride many times, also on the hike sometimes. Elin is fantastic logistically. Anybody who's doing a first time, be reassured. The logistics will be done really, really nicely. Elin is really expert at the logistics. There's going to be some snafus, of course, but as Elin as Marianne said, be a little bit patient. Everything will work out. It'll be really great. Okay, and we look forward to seeing you here in Israel really soon.
Sam, last question.
Yeah.
Marianne, I have a question as well.
Okay, Brad.
I missed the start of the call. Where are you streaming this? Under what name and Facebook?
We're under American Friends of Elin, and we'll have the recording. If you want to get it, shoot me an email and we'll send it to you.
And you mentioned, or somebody mentioned that the numbers were down this year. What are we expecting?
We're at 150 more or less right now. We've been in better position 3 years ago, especially it was the 20th anniversary ride. We know travel is different, COVID is different. There's been some staff changes, many changes. That's why we really wanted to have this meeting so everyone can see each other and hear. I mean, we didn't have to say much. Our riders sell it like it is. That people have a great time on the ride. It's meaningful. It's life-changing. I think we'll see some uptick until the end of the summer, and we're prepared. There will be a ride this year in Israel, all of us together.
Victor brings enough tequila for all of the challenge in Road Plus.
Done.
But Sam, just what we're expecting is the Israeli riders seem to register a bit later, and we hope to see an influx in the Israeli riders. And most of the off-road riders are Israelis, and they're normally about 100 or 120. So if as we expect in the near future, we should see some more movement from the Israeli side, and those numbers will go up as well.
Jonathan, with pleasure, I'll bring you some tequila. I don't think you're going to have enough, but I'll bring you whatever you can drink.
Staff needs tequila too on our off time.
Okay. They allow tequila on the plane.
Right. Sorry, guys. Brad wanted to ask a question, and he's driving, so let's hear his question.
Yeah, thank you. Brad and Lauren Sokol from Miami, Florida. This will be our 12th ride, and it is, as Joanne said, this is a life-changing event. And if you're questioning the logistics or any concerns you have, you don't have to worry. You're gonna have the time of your life. So that's number one. That's our pitch. And we've been doing this as husband and wife, for the past decade or so. We miss everybody. We're looking forward to get back this year. And the other question, you may have said this, but the question about El Al and
is there any deal worked out with El Al and shipping bikes this year? I didn't hear that.
There's no deal. I believe they are charging $180 for the bike, which is what the deal was many years ago. So
okay, thank you.
Check because the airlines have been allowing bikes as one of your bags. So,
terrific, thank you.
United definitely has that. So
for the best of my, I have to just say that I know from friends that leave Israel on El Al, I don't know if it's incoming flights, they don't necessarily charge for a bag bike, as Sam just mentioned. So it's well worth checking. It might be included in your baggage.
We'll check
worth coming just for that.
Also check
and if
your
anybody, if anybody wants
check your frequent flyer status, because I know as an Air Canada frequent flyer, I get to take a bike for free.
Got you. And is everybody else offered, if anybody wants to reach out, new riders to Lauren and I, we're available, and you get our contact information from Mayan. And I want to thank everybody for participating, and thank you for having this today. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brad.
Okay, I think we've answered all the questions. And again, if anyone has any more, feel free to reach out. Mike, I'll let you close it off.
Well, first of all, thank you very much, Mayan, and your team, because you initiated this, and I really think it's important for us as much as for the riders. And my main emphasis, apart from all the great words that have been said, is that we're working hard to make it a very successful ride. And I have to prove myself as a newcomer. We're doing our best. I've got a great team. And the other thing is, please push any kind of questions, any kind of requests. The more we know in advance, the better we can accommodate. So that's it. And keep fit and healthy. All right. And we'll be in touch soon. I'm looking forward to meeting everyone.
Mayan and Michael, this was great. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot, Mark. Thanks, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Later out, everybody.
Bye, Victor.
Ciao.